Hello and welcome to the Unlucky Frog Gaming Podcast. You are joined by your two usual hosts here. We've got Tom Mannering.
Hello.
And myself, Josh Hartley. Happy New Year, Tom.
Happy New Year.
That's the end of the episode, guys. Bye. Now, how have you been? How is 2022 treating you so far?
It's treating me okay. I'm not blown away just yet, but we're only 6 days in, so I'll give it a chance.
We've got some way to go yet.
You got 359 days to impress me, or whatever it is. No, is that right? That's wrong. 49 days? How many days are in a year? I've just added
365 in a normal year, 366 in a leap year.
Yeah, so 359 days to impress me. I was right first time.
Is it not a leap year this year?
Is it a leap year this year?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh.
Right in, listeners.
Well,
is it a leap year this year?
We've embarrassed ourselves there. We clearly don't pay attention to our calendars.
Or leap years.
Yeah, or anything for that matter.
How is your 6 days of? We're recording on the 6th in case people haven't guessed. How are your 6 days of 2022?
It's going all right so far. I'm back at work, so that's that. But you know, other than the harsh reality of not eating takeaways and drinking whatever I want, and you know, binging on chocolate like I do over the festive period. Other than having to adjust to, you know, normal life.
Sure.
It's peachy.
While I'm not encouraging it, you do know as an adult you can eat takeaways and chocolate at any time you want.
Yeah, but that's the curse. As an adult, I can eat takeaways and chocolate whenever I want. And that's the trouble.
Okay. That's the curse, is it?
Yeah. So I'm actually, I try and eat healthy-ish most of the time anyway.
Sure.
So it's just, I do tend to go a bit, as we all do, or most of us do anyway, tend to go a bit nuts over the Christmas period.
That's understandable. It's what Christmas is for. It's the spirit of the season, right?
Yeah. But it's also for gaming.
It is.
That nice segue there.
Like it.
Nice smooth segue. Let's catch the listeners haven't heard from us in a little while. So what did you get up to over the Christmas period that is gaming relevant?
Oof, gaming relevant. Over Christmas period itself, probably not that much. I elected to go home this Christmas. I say home to my parents, not really my home anymore. I went to my mum's for Christmas, and she's not a big gamer, my mum. Unless you want a game of Scrabble. So we didn't really do any gaming as such, and nor did my dad. However, I did, with my Christmas money that I got from my grandma, because it's a 37-year-old man. My step-grandma still gives me money, which is nice.
Bless her.
I know.
Yeah.
I bought myself a few gaming accoutrements.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I got a couple of D&D books that we talked about previously, but I got Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, and I got Strixhaven as well.
Yeah, nice.
I was talking to you about this before the episode, but my Fizban's arrived damaged, so I've had to get another one of those sent out, and I'm going to be sending that one back. And then beyond that, I did get some board gaming stuff as well, card gaming stuff, because I got a new expansion for Legendary, Marvel Legendary.
Of course.
So I got the Annihilation expansion, which is kind of a sort of re-release of the Fantastic Four set, but with it's completely different cards, but it's kind of a sort of reskin and reimagining of it. So rather than having separate heroes for each member of the Fantastic Four, it has all of them as one hero with each of them represented, and then some new characters and some new villains in there. And I also got a new Marvel Champions set, Got so many Marvel games here to keep track of.
Yes.
Who did I get for that? I got someone for that as well. I can't even remember who it was now.
Did you pick up any Marvel Crisis Protocol to round out the Marvel trifecta?
As of yet, no.
Okay. As of yet, though.
That's not to say I won't. I'm trying to behave with Crisis Protocol, and I'm trying to paint what I have before I buy anything else. So we'll see if that holds up.
That's disciplined. I respect that.
Well, the problem is when you're supporting so many Marvel related properties, you've got to kind of give and take. And I spent a bit of money over Christmas going to see the new Spider-Man film twice as well. So it all adds up.
It's good, isn't it?
It is.
It's so good.
It's very good. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen a film. That's
I've seen a film. Do you know what, actually? And it's inspired me to... Tom's going to give me so much stick for this, but it's inspired me to get caught up on Marvel because I enjoyed it that much. I was like, all right, well, I've kind of got to see the Infinity War Endgame saga now, and that's led me to go on to let's watch Thor Ragnarok, and let's get the TV, because I watched Hawkeye as well, because I wanted to watch Hawkeye over Christmas because it's set at Christmas.
Sure.
That made me go, okay, well, let's see what WandaVision is like. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that was good. Mm-hmm.
Do you see now? Do you understand why for like a year and a half I've been like, Josh, please watch this stuff?
I've always understood. I've just not been bothered. Okay. I've just found the impetus now, Okay. I had some time off and I was like, well, let's binge a few shows.
Okay.
So I think next on the block is Falcon and Winter Soldier, isn't it? So
yes. Yeah.
I'll get that one. And then Loki. So.
Loki's also good. Good. You've got plenty of stuff to keep you busy. That's good. Okay, so what about you? What did you get up to Christmas season wise?
Quite a bit.
Okay.
So we'll divvy it up into. So I received a couple of board gaming presents.
Okay.
First of all, for my birthday, my parents finally got a copy of Dominion, which I've been wanting for ages. Dominion, of course, being the now very old and the original deck building game.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to getting that to the table with some of my friends.
Cool.
My brother, for my Christmas present, got me Wingspan.
Okay.
We have talked tons about Wingspan in the past. We love it. Now that I don't live in proximity to Ben and Charlotte, I felt it was time for me to get my own copy, so I put it on my wish list. And I've played a couple of games of that with my friends down here.
Okay.
And they immediately got hooked on it to the point where we were supposed to have like a gaming night.
Okay.
And we started off with Wingspan, and when we got to so what do you want to play next? And Dan chirped in with, can we play Wingspan again? And it was like, yes, we can.
More of the same, please.
Yes. When it's as good as Wingspan, that's perfectly fine. And it's reassuring to note that what I have dubbed the Mario Kart effect is consistent through other friendship groups of mine as well, i.e. just because Wingspan is a very cutesy, pleasant game about birds, it doesn't stop people from swearing and frothing at the mouth with rage when things go wrong with it.
So I think I said this when we discussed Wingspan initially. You and Ben are obviously very big proponents of it, and Charlotte was as well. For me, as a game aesthetically, it didn't really appeal to me, but it has a very solid core gameplay loop that really, even if you're not into birds and all that comes with it, it's such a solid game that you can almost get past that. That almost becomes little more than set dressing, really, for just a solid game mechanic.
Sure, but so the thing for me is, my friendship group. One of my friends is another Tom Hendry, and what he does for a living is he is a ranger for the National Trust on the Farne Islands off the northeast coast of England. So he has been interested in birds his whole life.
Okay.
So one of his, if you know anything about the Farne Islands, one of the things he has to do is make sure the puffins, they count the puffins and make sure they're okay when they migrate there.
Yeah.
So he was immediately interested in Wingspan. I don't know. I'm not. I can't say that I'm into birds, but I just think it is a very, very pleasant game on the eye.
It is. Yeah. Aesthetically.
It is beautiful. And I think what's neat is that mechanically the birds do things that you would expect. So, like, birds, like, there's a mockingbird in there that imitates the call of other birds, and it copies the ability of another bird.
Yeah.
Which is, I love that. I love it when, like, trying to think of a better word for, like, lore. You know what I mean? I love it when, like, the sort of background of a game actually relates to how it works mechanically as well.
Yeah, it's kind of connecting the narrative of the cards with the mechanics of the gameplay. So it all kind of aligns quite nicely, which is, it's easier said than done, I think, in a lot of games, and especially when you're obviously trying to make sure that the mechanics that you're doing align with your gameplay and are balanced as well. You know, there's nothing game breaking going on, and it's a lot trickier than it would appear to be on the surface, I think.
Absolutely.
You know, I in my younger days when I had a bit more free time on my hands, I used to design games and role play systems and things, and they were hideously unbalanced. You know, we play tested. I remember when I was a teenager, and I think I've spoke about this before on the podcast, but a couple of my friends and I decided to make our own Dragon Ball Z role-playing game. Because we were that cool. This. And it was hideously unbalanced. You know, it just, you would not, if you put that to print, it would be laughed off the RPG community. Because everybody would just want to play Saiyan. You know, there's no reason to play anything otherwise. And that can be very tricky. And okay, Wingspan doesn't really have a sort of predatory element where, you know, you've got bald eagles picking off puffins. But it can be easy to unbalance these kinds of things. But to actually balance it in such a way that it makes sense for the creatures, it's trickier than you would think at surface level. So it's commendable when they manage to do that, and it feels right as well.
Yeah, I'm just picturing one of these games that you designed, one of your friends picking the rules up, and he's just, Tom, the first line of the rule book is that Tom wins as he's playing.
Do you know, it's funny, we used to
you didn't do that,
No. You just reminded me, though, when I was at university, we'd always go back to this girl's house after, like, nights out and stuff. And she introduced us all to a card game, like a playing card game. It's a drinking game. And I've never to this day come across anyone else who plays this game or even knows of this game that didn't attend this after party. And it always seemed, because everyone that played this was already kind of three sheets to the wind, no one really knew the rules beyond the person who was hosting it. And she would always seem to win. And I remember calling it Caitlin wins the game because that was all that happened in it. So she won and everyone else got drunk, which is not a bad thing when you're at university. But yeah, I pretty much imagine the rulebook to that just being, you know, their name on the front wins.
We need to get Caitlin on the show and call her out on this.
I don't even know if she'd remember it, to be honest. It's a very long time ago.
Excellent. Anyway, so I received and played Wingspan. My sister kindly got me a bunch of Warhammer stuff for my birthday and Christmas, so I've got the... as you know, I'm attempting to collect all of the codices for 40k, so she got me the Black Templars supplement. And I've got a box of Light Lord Terminators for my Death Guard now as well.
Very nice.
They will be getting shipped up to Ben from Ashenhold Art. Air horns.
Okay, you don't need to say air horns and make an air horns noise, and you're going to insert the air horns noise. You're adding too much now, Josh.
It's all funny. It's all good. They'll be getting sent up there to get painted up at some point.
Okay.
Magic the Gathering wise, it is the most wonderful time of year because the Vintage Cube has been on over Christmas, so I've been playing a ton of that online and having a blast with it. I think I said in the previous episode, I was going to see if I could Twitch stream some of it, but we've had some technical difficulties with the Twitch stream, so we'll try and get that working as quickly as possible. But, and I know what you're thinking, Tom, the most important thing that happens around this time of year is, of course, my annual game of Scrabble with my dad and brother on Christmas Day.
I knew it was coming. So how did it go?
Well, Tom, I am now the proud owner of the trophy, the Vorge Smite, for the next year. I won the game.
Well done, mate. Proud of you.
Yeah, drinking beer out of it on Christmas Day.
Any words that you're particularly proud of?
The winning play was my brother played the word swim one tile short of getting the triple word.
Ooh,
and I was able to play aswim on that.
Okay.
And feign. And I remember the score that I got for it because it was 69.
There you go. The best number.
Nice.
Love it. How mature.
That'll never not be funny.
No, it never will be. Even at work, if I see the number 69, it gets a chuckle out of me. That's good though. That's good. So you've touched on something we could segue into, which is Warhammer.
So much Warhammer news, my God.
So much Warhammer news. So obviously Games Workshop have kind of started setting the scene for 2022. And what's going to be coming down the pipeline. I've not really looked at it, I'm not going to lie. I saw one thing and I went, I'm done. And that is Gene Stealers are coming out this week for pre-release. So
alongside the Golden Boys.
Yeah. Gene Stealers are coming out this week.
And Custodes.
Yeah.
Custodes are coming out as well.
Yeah, so Gene Stealers are coming out this week. So I will be picking up the new Gene Stealer Codex, which I'm really, really excited about.
Are you looking forward to your army being remotely competitive again?
I am hoping that it will be remotely competitive. You never know. You know, it's always a roll of the dice.
I know one of the rules is that you can regenerate like killed models now.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
No, sorry, regenerate was a name of a mechanic in Warhammer. You can bring back dead models in the Gene Stealer cults.
Which is cool because it's supposed to be like the cults crawling out of the sewers and all the ducks and the shadows. Which is really nice. So I'm looking forward to that. And my army is very close to being fully painted as well. I had some recent shots from my friend who is painting it, which I'm really excited about as well because I'll soon have the full finished article, which will align nicely with the release of the new rules. So hopefully, I'll be in a position to get a game if we are able to see each other.
I was just gonna say because I now have a gaming room down here, so I can throw down the challenge. You come at me. I can
quite literally.
I can get some. Because I want to get a proper nice map for it and some new terrain. So
I'm going to come at you like a train, mate, because I'll be on a train to come to you.
Yes, that is how transport between Glasgow and Carlisle works.
Yep. So we will get a game in, and we can obviously report back on that as and when that happens, which will be really good. I have no doubt that given I'll be playing in an edition I've not played that much with an army I will not have played with the new rulebook, it's going to be an absolute nightmare, but it'll be fun. It'll be a fun nightmare.
It'll be a fun nightmare.
Yeah. So
fine mare, if you will. A fight mare.
A fight mare.
There we go. There has been other news from the GW camp. When I was chatting to Ben the other day, he's super happy because the new Age of Sigmar box set is going to include Fire Slayers in. I think it's Fire Slayers versus Idoneth Deepkin.
Okay.
So that's cool. The Fire Slayers haven't had an awful lot of love in recent years, so they're going to get a new miniature included in that.
Yeah.
hopefully that usually means that they'll have some battle tomes coming out alongside it as well. So we'll have more to report on that as and when. The most interesting news for me was that completely out of the blue, Games Workshop have announced that they're reprinting Warhammer Quest Cursed City. Warhammer Quest Cursed City, if you recall from last year when we were covering it, we were super excited about it. Both you and Ben got copies of it.
Yep.
And then they discontinued it without any word at all.
Yep.
And it was so super sketchy as to what happened. Yeah. What happened with Cursed City?
The conspiracy of Cursed City.
I mean, in my head, it's either the most genius viral marketing campaign ever, or something super embarrassing went wrong and they just didn't want to admit to it.
I think the sort of conspiracy that I heard that to me carried the most weight, if you will, was there was something tied up with some sort of either printer or copyright aspect, I think, is kind of where something went awry.
Now, the theory that I heard was there was an issue with them declaring that it was made in the UK.
Yeah.
Because there was, sure enough, the miniatures are made in the UK, but most of the printed material isn't.
Yeah.
And while that's normally fine with GW releases because it's mostly miniatures, there's a lot of printed material in Cursed City. So that was the theory that I had heard, but we're never going to know. They're never going to say why and what happened.
Do you think potentially with this being the case, and this is just me speculating, but I think, and I'm curious if you agree, that this maybe means there's maybe expansions coming for Cursed City?
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think they've hinted at it, but... Who knows? Because they were, the way they were talking about it in the run up to its release, like early last year, was that this was going to be the new Blackstone Fortress, and they did a ton of expansions for Blackstone Fortress.
Yep.
So
I have them all. Never played any of them. Never played Cursed City either.
I mean, we can.
Don't make promises you're not going to keep. I've been out too many times.
I was just going to say we can hope that they're going to go down that route. I was not going to promise.
So you're going to promise to play Blackstone Fortress
with you because I know that's not happening.
Don't toy with my emotions, Josh. I'm fragile.
And I think the other thing that caught my eye was they have revealed some new miniatures for Craftworld Eldar as well.
Yes, they have.
They're not going to... So we've got a box set coming out that's got some new Rangers and I think is it a new Farseer and new Bikers?
Yeah. Yeah, new Guardians as well, is it?
Yeah, there's a separate box for new Guardians as well. What do you think of them?
I think they're alright. I think they're long overdue, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have to admit, like, the aesthetic in general for Craftworld Eldar doesn't really do it for me.
Okay.
But... they're still nice miniatures, and they deserve an update.
They do, yeah. They desperately do. The funny thing is, I used to love Eldar. Eldar were my first army. Well, no, that's not true. Eldar were the first, like, my first attempt at an army, I would say.
Right.
I kind of, when I first got started, you know, you do that thing, I don't know if you did actually, because I don't know how old you were when you got started. What kids often do, and I did this, and I used to see kids do it when I work at GW, because you don't really know what's going on. You just like buy random models. So you'll just like buy bits that you like, or like your family with good intentions will just grab you like stuff they think you'll like, you know, or he'll like that man on a bike, or he'll like that guy on a horse, or he'll like that Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. I'm sure these all go together because they're from the same shop, so why wouldn't they? And you end up with this sort of mishmash of models from different systems, and I mean, it was even more sort of chaotic when I started, because at that point in time you had things like Mordheim and Necromunda, where, you know, those models, you couldn't put Necromunda stuff into 40k, not really anyway.
No.
So you could really end up going, you know, off the reservation if you got the wrong kind of models. So Eldar were kind of the first... I got the core box for 2nd edition, And then I remember going out, really liking the look of Eldar, and buying with like some pocket money. I bought like a jet bike, which wasn't legal on its own. A squad of 5 Guardians, I think it was, the really old Guardians.
Yes.
And a pack of, and this was back when they did the metal blisters, and it was a pack of 3 striking Scorpions, also not legal on their own.
Yes.
So I had just this. I had, the starter set Space Marine Force, the starter set Orc Force, and then just this scattering of Eldar that was going to be what I played. And I remember going to my first sort of actual game, which was at my school gym, because my school had a Warhammer club, and trying to play, and the gym teacher being like, and I could just imagine as an adult how this looked to him, as this, scrawny, like 5'8", 12-year-old, because I was like ridiculously tall, even young, turns up and is like, here's my army, with just this mesh of crap. So it's really nice to see Eldar models, especially when I remember back to, the old metal and dull plastic getting revived. And I quite like them. I know what you're saying. I don't think the Eldar aesthetic is for everyone. And I actually think it's a bit of a shame that Eldar as an army have been kind of overshadowed by their big units, by their walkers and things.
Yeah, of course. And their tanks, the like wave serpents and the like. They're pretty impressive models.
Because they have such a diverse range of, obviously the aspect warriors are beautiful models and conceptually really cool. And even their default troops have a lot of character and a very unique appearance to them. And it's nice to see that get kind of a bit of an overhaul and a bit of a refresh. So I like them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to start an Eldar army again, nor am I going to get a mishmash of models in Celebration, but it is nice to see something a bit new for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I say I don't like the Eldar aesthetic. I did see one cool thing on on Facebook. Someone had managed to paint up one of the current Guardians, albeit, but they painted it up in the colour scheme of Vegeta's uniform from Dragon Ball Z. I thought, all right, that kind of looks cool. I can agree with that.
Yeah, so, I'd get on board with that. That's a cool colour scheme. That'd be a really nice army colour scheme as well, with the kind of I think that's the Freezer Force that Vegeta has, or is he wearing the same stuff? I can't remember. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z for a very long time.
It's what he's wearing when with the meme, Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level?
Yep. I know it well.
You're not going to say it.
No, I'm not.
Damn it, Tom.
I refuse to feed into your meme desires. What does it say, Josh?
So does... It's over 9,000!
There you go.
There we go. Thank you.
I remember... I remember Vegeta when he comes down in that. I always get Vegeta's storyline sort of mixed up with Frieza's storyline, and I can never remember where they kind of sit in relation to each other. Not that it's something I give a lot of thought to.
I am the wrong person to ask about this, man. Like, I remember it being on TV and watching it and enjoying it, but can I tell you what the plot was? Can I, Eck?
I'm sure we've got some listener who's a devout Dragon Ball Z fan, and they can comment and tell us where Vegeta's outfit comes from and what it represents. Please feel free. We'll definitely read it.
We've got other news that is non-GW related to talk about. This actually kind of passed us by because this was tail end of November, just as we were about to go on our Christmas breaks.
Yes.
Tom, what is being released?
So this was announced tail end of November, start of December. It's coming on Kickstarter, and it is Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game. So it is no doubt a known fact by this point that I am a sucker for a Marvel game. However, there is there's a problem, is what I will say, because this is being done by none other than my favourite company, and that is said entirely sarcastically, which is the fantastically named Simon Games.
Cool Mini or Not, I believe, is an abbreviation.
Yes.
For, but yes.
Simon. They have, look, if you have a banner over your stall that says Simon, you're fair game, right? There's no two ways about it. So yeah, they've had for a long time, they've had this Zombicide board game, which has been around for ages now.
Donkey's years.
Yeah.
It's featured in episodes of South Park.
Yeah. And it's had, expansions, it's had, I think, comics as well done about it. They've, and to their credit, they've really made a kind of an IP out of it, which is fair play. But now they've brought it to Marvel, quite cleverly, I will say, utilising the Marvel Zombies IP. I was quite surprised when I saw this, because obviously Marvel is a very big IP. Although at the moment they seem to really be whoring out their IP to board game and card game creators, as my slowly buckling game shelf will attest. So yeah, I thought I'd just mention this. It's going to Kickstarter soon. We don't have an exact date, I don't think. It just says coming soon to Kickstarter. There's miniatures for it. They've released teasers of a few of them. One that is, I think, worth mentioning is they have released they're releasing a 2-foot tall zombie Galactus miniature. So for those of you who don't know Marvel, Galactus is a cosmic entity. He's the devourer of worlds. He literally flies through space, devouring entire planets. And in Marvel Zombies, like many, many heroes and villains, he becomes a zombie, which is weird. And he is a zombie cosmic entity. And yeah, they've released this image of it, and it's a 2-foot tall Galactus. At that point, you can't really call it a miniature. I mean, I suppose it's a miniature for Galactus in the scheme of things.
You beat me to the punch. Is the question I was going to ask? Is that how tall does a miniature have to be for it to cease being a miniature?
I mean, surely when you're bigger than a baby, you're past that point, right? Like, if you are bigger than a human being...
Are babies miniatures?
Is that a thing? Yeah. Are babies miniatures? Can you? I mean, you could put them on the board, I suppose. See how that goes. Yeah, but it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm very conflicted because I love Marvel games. I love seeing Marvel miniatures, and they're not terrible miniatures, to be fair.
No.
By any stretch of the imagination, what we've seen so far. I've never played Zombicide. I don't know if you have.
I haven't,
no.
To be honest.
So I can't really comment on is it going to be a good game or not.
Yeah.
Without really having played it.
So is this an expansion or is this a standalone game?
I don't know.
Right.
I think it is a standalone game from what I've kind of gleaned from it. Because it says on the cover art that they've released, it says Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game. So I wonder if maybe it's a standalone game. Perhaps there's some cross-compatibility with the other Zombicides. I don't know how that will work. But
mechanically, it sounds like it's going to be Zombicide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they do something different. I don't know, man. Like, I don't... I don't know what the shtick is with Marvel Zombies. I've never read any of the comics, so like other than they're all zombies. Is that it? is that the plot?
So fundamentally,
what would Captain America look like if he was a decaying bag of flesh? Here we go.
Yeah, so it's actually a very, very popular series. Is Marvel Zombies.
I know. They took Marvel superheroes and zombies, and somehow people loved that. Who'd have thunk?
Yeah. And basically you've got this virus, I think it is, that basically spreads around the world. A couple of like superheroes get it, and then that's kind of it. Once they go with it, it goes mental. There are a handful of non-zombified heroes for one reason or another. and obviously they're just trying to survive, and then the zombies kind of start fighting each other. It's weird though, because the zombies retain like a degree of their intelligence and their personality, but then it takes on this kind of twisted version of it. It's a very strange thing. They actually do an episode of What If on Disney Plus that takes some inspiration from Marvel Zombies. It's not true to the full narrative, but they certainly touch on a few of the points in it.
So it's the Walking Dead in the Marvel universe.
Pretty much.
They saw the Walking Dead comics and they thought, we want a bit of that.
I'm not sure which came first. But yeah, it's zombies, right? Like it was that period where everything was zombies as well. You know, like if you existed, you had zombies in it. You know, regardless of whether or not you were relevant to zombies, you know, you had zombies because zombies were cool at that point in time. And you know, fair play to them. They seem to have got the license to use it and are running with it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Do you think you'll pick it up?
I don't know, is the honest answer. I will probably have a look at it when it comes onto Kickstarter. I will see how much they're going to be charging for it, because if memory serves, Zombicide is quite pricey.
It's not going to be cheap.
And you stick the Marvel license on that as well, I reckon that's going to hike it. So will I pick it up? Maybe, if I have the money at the time and I'm feeling flush. It's not on my must-buy list, though, by any stretch of the imagination. I think if I got it, I would probably get it more for the minis than the game.
This is why I was asking. I was thinking just more as a collector piece for you.
Yeah. I do like some of they've not spoiled too much, but I do like the look of some of the minis that they've released. And like, there's a zombified Captain America, a zombified Hulk, a zombified Iron Man, and they all look really nice.
I bet that would be fun to paint as well, right?
Well, as much as I'm taking the mick out of the zombie fad, during the zombie fad, I started a Nurgle army and did a zombie horde. So I do actually really like zombies.
There we go.
So I was the one that introduced you to the game Zombies.
Yes, for better or for worse.
Much to Ben's chagrin.
To mine as well. Jeez, it was torture.
It was giving you the real horror and despair that a zombie apocalypse.
I didn't need that,
is,
man. I didn't need that in my life.
But you had it, and now you understand.
Yeah. And now I understand.
I still remember the day we went to the Glasgow gaming convention. I can't remember. Well, convention's maybe a stretch, but the
Glasgow Games Festival.
Thank you. And they had obviously the bring and buy, and I put my copy of Zombies up for sale. Came back fully expecting it not to have sold, and it had sold, and I just felt guilt. There was a combination of relief and guilt. It was like, it's gone. It is no longer mine. It's no longer my responsibility. But what have I put into the world?
It's a bit like The Ring. You know, you've got to show someone else that videotape.
Can you imagine you open up the board game and it just goes 7 days.
Yeah, that's how long the game takes to play. So we were playing it for 7 goddamn days, man. That's what it felt like.
You just open it. 7 days. You'll be playing for 7 days.
Yeah, jeez.
You just turn around and there's people behind you with like the elongated horror faces.
Yeah, that's what we look like playing that game. Mate. Oh, that really tickled you.
It did.
Oh dear. Anyway, we'll keep you posted on Marvel Zombies as and when it goes on live on Kickstarter, and we'll see if Tom does indeed take the bite.
Yes.
See what
well done. Nice there. Zombie pun. Yeah. So before we wrap up, do you want to have a chat about our Patreon?
Yeah, let's have a chat about. We have a Patreon, guys. No. In all sincerity, it's not free to do this. We've got hosting fees that we need to pay for the various websites that we use. I mean, we're recording this right now on squadcast.com, .fm, sorry, and they charge us for that. And Podbean charges for uploading the episodes. And, we have other overheads to pay for as well. You may have noticed that this week Tom doesn't sound like complete trash, and that's because we got him a new microphone. So, all of these things add up. So, we have a Patreon, so if you like what you're listening to and you want to see or hear more of it, have a look at it. You can donate as little as $1 a month. Every penny helps. Just keep the lights on and keep us going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wondered where you're going. That if you want to see more of us, to get on the Patreon. Yeah. We've also got an OnlyFans.
We do not have an I don't have an OnlyFans. I cannot speak for my co-host here, but you can't see me like that.
I do not have an OnlyFans. I was tempted to go not under my real name, but no, I don't have.
Oh no, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the link in the show notes. Please do consider donating. It helps us out a lot, and we're very grateful for it.
We are indeed.
Rightio. And I think on that note, Happy New Year, everyone that you're listening. Everyone that is listening, we'll edit that. Happy New Year, everyone that is listening. And until next time, take care.
Bye.
Bye.